The bank manager's smile looked like it hurt. Mr. Patterson, your business plan is ambitious. Bankers speak for you're delusional and wasting my time. I'd spent 6 weeks on that plan. 43 pages. Market research showing a $2.3 billion opportunity in B2B analytics software. Revenue projections that hit profitability by month 18. Competitor analysis proving I could undercut existing solutions by 30% while delivering better results. She'd read maybe 4 pages. I could tell by the way she flipped through it. The universal gesture of pretending to care while actively not caring. Do you have collateral? She asked. Co-signers? Family who could... That's why I'm here instead of asking them. She closed the folder. Slid it back across the desk like it was contaminated. I'm sorry. Without credit history or assets, we can't approve a business loan, even at $5,000. $5,000. The cost of a used Toyota Corolla. Less than what some people spent on a vacation. Have you considered crowdfunding? She added, like she was being helpful. Or maybe getting a job first. I have a job. I'm trying to start a company. Right. Well, best of luck with that. I left the bank with nothing but a rejected loan application and a business plan nobody would read. I sat in my car for 10 minutes, stared at the folder in my passenger seat. Calculations that showed I'd make back $5,000 in the first month of revenue. Nobody cared. I pulled out my phone, made the call I'd been avoiding. It rang 4 times. Hello? Hey, Mom, can I come over? I need to talk to you and Dad about something. Pause. Is everything okay? Yeah, just business stuff. Wanted your advice. Oh, well, sure. Come by after dinner. 6:30, okay? See you then. I hung up. I arrived at 6:27. Early, because I'm that kind of anxious. My parents lived in the same house I'd grown up in. 3-bedroom ranch in a subdivision that peaked in 1987 and had been gently declining ever since. The lawn was mowed. The siding was beige. Everything about it screamed adequate. I knocked. Mom opened the door, smiled that smile she always gave me, warm but slightly confused, like she wasn't quite sure why I was there. Come in, come in. You want coffee? I'm good. Dad was in his recliner and just nodded. Hey, kiddo. I sat on the couch, pulled out my business plan, set it on the coffee table. Mom sat across from me, folded her hands. So what's this about? I want to start a company, software analytics for mid-sized businesses. I've got the plan here, I've got potential clients interested, I've done all the research. That's wonderful, honey, Mom said, in the tone people use when they're about to say but. The thing is, I need startup capital, just to get the basics, website, legal fees, initial marketing. I went to the bank, but they won't approve a loan without collateral. Dad's attention shifted from the TV to me. How much are you asking for? $5,000. As a loan, not a gift. I'll pay you back with 6% interest within 2 years. It's all in the plan. I pushed the folder toward them. Neither of them touched it. $5,000, Dad repeated. Yes, I have projections showing. We're not giving you money, he said. Mom's expression softened. The pity face. I knew it well. Honey, we're just not in a position to take on that kind of risk. It's not a risk. It's a loan. I'll literally give you more money back than... You don't deserve help, she said. The words landed like a slap. I'm sorry, what? You don't deserve help. Not after everything. I stared at her. After everything? What does that mean? Dad jumped in. You've made a lot of questionable choices. Quitting your job at the insurance company. This whole entrepreneur thing. You're not stable. I quit because they wanted to relocate me to Nebraska. I've been freelancing, making decent money. Freelancing isn't a real job, Mom said gently. As if saying it gently made it less insulting. And this startup idea? Dad shook his head. It's risky. We're not going to enable bad decisions. Did you even look at it? Dad flipped open the cover, scanned the first page. It's just numbers. Anyone can make up numbers. Those aren't made up. That's market analysis. Revenue projections based on... We're not a bank, Mom said. We can't just hand out money. I'm not asking you to hand it out. I'm asking for a loan, with interest and payment plan. It's all detailed in. The answer is no. I sat back, felt something cold settle in my chest. Okay, we're doing this because we love you, Mom added. Sometimes the best thing a parent can do is say no, right? You'll understand someday, when you have to make tough decisions. I stood up, picked up my business plan. Thanks for your time. Don't be like that, Dad said. We're trying to help you see reality. I see it. I walked to the door, hand on the handle. That's when I heard the car in the driveway. Sister's voice high and excited. Mom, Dad, I have news. Claire burst through the door like a golden retriever who'd just discovered tennis balls exist. My younger sister, 23. Blonde, bubbly, and blessed with the kind of oblivious confidence that comes from never being told no. Oh, you're here, she hugged me. I didn't hug back. Perfect timing, you can celebrate with us. Celebrate what? She practically vibrated with excitement. I got in. Paris Fashion Institute accepted me, Mom gasped. Like Claire had just announced she'd cured cancer. Oh my God, Claire, that's incredible. Dad stood up for the first time since I'd arrived. Paris? Really? Really? 2-year program. Design management track. It's one of the most prestigious fashion schools in the world. They swarmed her. Hugs. Questions. Congratulations. I stood by the door. How much is tuition? Dad asked. It's expensive. $68,000 for the full 2 years, plus living expenses, which they estimate around $22,000. $90,000. I watched Dad's face, waited for the "we're not a bank" speech. Instead, he smiled. We'll make it work. I must have made a sound, because Claire looked over. You okay? Yeah, just 90,000 is a lot. We've been saving for her education, Mom said quickly. This is what that money is for. Dad pulled out his phone, started doing math. If we do 45,000 now for the first year, that covers tuition and gets you settled. Then we can figure out year 2. Are you sure? Claire asked. Absolutely. You've earned this opportunity. You've worked so hard. Mom started crying. They kept talking, planning. Claire's Paris adventure. I stood there holding my business plan, the $5,000 loan they wouldn't consider, while they casually committed to $90,000. I should go, I said. Nobody heard me. I walked out, got in my car, sat there while my sister celebrated inside, watched through the window as Dad actually pulled out his checkbook, wrote something, handed it to Claire. $45,000. Just like that. I looked at my business plan on the passenger seat. The first tier hit page 7. Right on the revenue projections they'd called just numbers. My phone buzzed. Text from Mom. Sorry tonight was awkward. Claire's news was unexpected. Let's talk soon about your thing. I didn't respond. Just started the car and drove. I was done asking them for anything. Done trying to prove I was worth investing in. If I was going to build something, it would be without them. The next morning, I showed up at Rise co-working space in downtown Portland. $12 day pass, free coffee, decent Wi-Fi, and more importantly, other people trying to build things. I set up at a table near the window, opened my laptop, stared at my business plan. Rough night? I looked up. Woman, mid-20s, dark curly hair pulled into a messy bun. Purple hoodie. Tattoos up both arms. Design software open on her screen. Does it show? You've been staring at that document for 20 minutes without scrolling. Either it's terrible or you're having an existential crisis. Can it be both? She smiled. Vanessa, everyone calls me Van. Nice to meet you. I gestured at her screen. Graphic designer? Trying to be. Currently in the work for exposure phase of my career, which is fancy talk for broke. She nodded at my laptop. What about you? Software startup, trying to get funding. Parents say no? I blinked. How did you? Your rejected loan folder is sitting next to your coffee, Plus that look on your face. I know that look. Despite everything, I laughed. That obvious? I perfected that look in the mirror for 3 years. My mom wanted me to be a nurse, practical, stable, safe. Van sipped her coffee. Instead, I went to art school and now I design logos for crypto scams. Living the dream. At least you're working. So are you. You're here, aren't you? With a business plan? That's more than most people do. A guy walked past our table. Mid-40s, gray at the temples, cardigan that had seen better days. He paused. Sorry, couldn't help overhearing. Startup funding? Trying, I said. He set down his coffee, extended his hand. Derek Chang, former investment banker, emphasis on former. What happened? 2008 happened. I lost my job back then. Never really recovered the confidence. He smiled, but it was sad. Been doing consulting work for 10 years, living okay. But I miss believing in things. Believing in things? Projects, people, potential. He pointed at my business plan. Can I see that? I hesitated. I won't steal your idea, he said. Promise, I just miss reading these. I slid it across. B2B analytics, smart. Market size looks good. Revenue model makes sense. He looked up. How much are you raising? I need 8,000 to start. Got 3,000 saved. Bank said no to a loan. What about your family? My face must have answered. Right. He closed the folder. I'll give you 3,000. I stared at him. You... What? $3,000. Investment, not loan. Give me 2% equity. You don't even know me. I know rejection. I know what it feels like when people won't bet on you. And I know grit when I see it. He pulled out his phone. I'm not rich, but I have some savings. And honestly, I'd rather lose $3,000 on someone who might make it than keep it in a savings account earning nothing. Van was grinning. That's the coolest thing I've heard all week. Derek looked at her. You're a designer? Yeah, why? He's going to need a logo, brand identity, website graphics. Van leaned forward. I'll do it. $2,500 of design work, in exchange for 2% equity. I looked between them. You're both insane. Probably, Van agreed. But I'd rather bet on someone building something real than design another crypto scam logo. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Hey, it's me, your college roommate. I recognized the voice immediately. Riley? That's me. Listen, I heard through Marcus, you remember Marcus, right? That you're starting a company. Something about analytics software? How did Marcus... He's friends with your sister on Instagram. Saw she posted about Paris, read the comments. Your mom mentioned you were trying to start something. Riley paused. Also, I'm a lawyer now. Real estate and business contracts. And I remember you came to my law school graduation when nobody else did. So, $2,500, lawyer services for 2 years, and 2% equity. Deal? I sat there. 24 hours ago, my parents said no to $5,000. Now, 3 strangers were offering $8,000 plus services. Deal, I said. Van raised her coffee mug. To bad investments and good people. Derek clinked his mug against hers. To second chances. Riley, still on the phone, laughed. I can't clink through the phone, but I'm spiritually there. Send me the incorporation docs. Let's make this official. 4 years. That's how long it took. Year 1. First client. Local marketing firm needed analytics for their campaigns. Paid $12,000. We broke even. Year 2. Word spread. 12 clients. Revenue hit $250,000. Hired our first employee. Van became full-time brand director. Derek handled business development. Riley managed all legal and helped with operations. Year 3. Series A funding. Venture capital firm invested $3 million for 18% equity. Company valued at $12 million. I owned 66%. Year 4. Acquisition offer. Bigger company wanted our tech. Sold 32% for $15 million. Kept majority control. Company now valued at 47 million. My 66% stake worth $31 million. Van's 2%, $940,000. Derek's 2%, $940,000. Riley's 2%, $940,000. Three people who believed in me when my family wouldn't were now millionaires. And my family still had no idea. I'd stopped calling them after that night. They didn't notice for a month. Then Mom texted, "Everything okay? We haven't heard from you." I replied, "Busy with work." That was 2 years ago. Silence ever since. Meanwhile, I'd built something real. And then, because the universe has a sense of humor, I bought a house. The realtor kept saying, investment property like that would make the price less absurd. 5.5 million is actually below market for this neighborhood, she explained. 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, pool, guest house, home theater. I'll take it, she blinked. You don't want to see the rest? Already saw the virtual tour. It's perfect. For your family? For my company. The house was ridiculous. Exactly the kind of place my sister used to point at while driving and say, "One day when I'm successful." I closed in 3 weeks. Moved my company headquarters in. Converted bedrooms to offices. Master suite became our conference room. Pool area for team events. Van got the corner office with the view. Derek took the library. Riley set up in what used to be a formal dining room. And me? I lived in the garden shed. 200 square feet in the backyard. The previous owners had used it for pool equipment. I renovated it. Bed, desk, mini fridge, gaming setup, string lights, and a hammock. When Van found out, she nearly had a stroke. "You bought a $5.5 million house and you're living in the shed?" "I only need one room. The shed has everything." "That's insane. The shed has better Wi-Fi than my apartment did. Plus it's cozy." Derek thought it was hilarious. Riley just said, "You're the weirdest CEO I've ever met." But here's the thing. I'd spent years in studio apartments eating ramen, sleeping on an air mattress, living small. The shed was luxury. And the house? The house was for the people who'd believed in me. Let them have the mansion. I was good with my 200 square feet. 6 months after moving in, my phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello. Hi, this is Jessica from Premier Lending Services. I'm calling regarding mortgage account number 847392. I pulled up my company's lending division dashboard. Searched the account number. Oh. Oh no. I'm listening. You're listed as the emergency contact. Account is 90 days past due. Foreclosure proceedings scheduled to begin in 30 days. Do you have updated contact information for Theodore and Margaret Patterson?" My parents had a mortgage with my company. They didn't know my company owned their loan. We'd acquired Premier Lending 8 months ago as part of a portfolio deal. Yes, I have their information. Great. Can you ask them to contact us regarding payment arrangements? I'll handle it personally. I hung up, pulled up the file. Loan date, 3 years ago. Amount, $180,000. Purpose, emergency medical expenses. I opened the payment history. Regular payments for 1 year, then sporadic. Then nothing for 3 months. Current balance, $167,400. Amount overdue, $2,500. I cross-referenced the dates. The loan originated 2 weeks after my kitchen table rejection, right when they paid for Claire's first year in Paris. They'd mortgaged their house to send her to school, while telling me they couldn't help me with $5,000. And now I owned that mortgage. I could foreclose, could demand immediate payment, could make their lives very difficult, or I could restructure the loan and make it manageable. My phone buzzed. Walk-in applicant for the marketing manager position. Says her last name is Patterson, same as yours. I checked the calendar. We'd been looking for a marketing manager for 3 weeks. Send her in when she arrives, I said. She's already here. Interesting. I walked up to the main house, my suit jacket from my shed closet, entered the conference room. And there she was. Claire, my sister, 4 years older. Paris apparently hadn't taught her much about punctuality for actual appointments. But here she was. She looked up. Her face went through several emotions. Confusion, recognition, shock. Wait, what are you doing here? I sat down across from her, gestured to the company logo on the wall behind me. I own here. Her mouth opened. You, you own this company? Yes. Now, tell me about Paris. Claire stared at me like I'd just announced I was secretly an astronaut. You own this company, she repeated. Sit down. She sat, slowly, like the chair might be a trap. But you were struggling, living in that awful apartment. Mom said a lot of things, most of them wrong. I opened her resume on my tablet. Let's talk about your qualifications. Okay. Paris Fashion Institute, graduated 2023, impressive. She brightened slightly. Thank you. It was an incredible experience. I bet. 2 years in Paris must have been transformative. Absolutely. The program really pushed us to think about design from a marketing perspective, and I held up my hand, started typing on my laptop. What are you doing? Just pulling up your records. We verify all education claims. I turned the screen toward her. Alumni database, Paris Fashion Institute. Her face drained of color. The screen showed Claire Patterson. Status, withdrawn. Last attendance, December 2021. Reason, academic probation. Want to try that answer again? You withdrew after 1 year, I continued calmly. Academic probation, 6 failed classes. Let me guess, you didn't tell mom and dad? Tears started forming. I was going to, but they were so proud, and I thought maybe I could fix it. By spending year 2 traveling Europe on their dime while posting fake school photos? How did you? I called Paris this morning. When I saw your application come through, I recognized the name. Thought I'd do my due diligence. I leaned back. They're not happy, by the way. You still owe them $68,000 for year 2, the year you never attended. I'm going to pay them back. With what job? The one you're interviewing for? She looked down at her hands. I returned to her resume. Marketing coordinator, Luxe Brands, 2022 to 2023. Yes, I picked up my phone. Called a number, put it on speaker. 3 rings. Luxe Brands, HR department. Hi, this is calling for employment verification. Claire Patterson, marketing coordinator 2022 to 2023. Pause. Typing sounds. I'm not showing any employment record for that name. Can you double check, maybe under a different title? More typing. Nothing. No employment history at all. Thank you. I hung up, looked at Claire. So that was a lie. It was freelance, sort of. I helped them with Instagram. For how long? 2 weeks. Unpaid? Yes. So not a job. An unpaid internship you quit after 2 weeks. I moved to the next line. Brand strategist, Elevate Digital, 2023. I can explain. I was already typing. Google search. Elevate Digital doesn't exist. Domain's not registered. No LLC filing. No social media presence. It was my friend's startup. We were going to launch, but you didn't. No. So another lie? She started crying openly now. I was trying to make myself look qualified. You were trying to commit resume fraud. There's a difference. I stood up, walked to the window, looked out at my shed in the backyard. How did you even get here today? Uber. Why does that matter? What route did you take? Maple Street, then around through the residential area. Why? Maple Street. Of course. You drove past a white modern house? 6 bedrooms, black trim, huge windows? Her face changed. Oh my God, yes. I made the driver slow down so I could take a picture. It's gorgeous. That's my house, she blinked. What? 847 Maple Street, the house you snapped. You're joking. I don't joke about real estate. She just stared. And the shed in the backyard? The one that probably looks like it stores lawn equipment? I didn't really look at the shed. I live in it. I'm sorry, you live where? The shed. It's cozy. But the house is my company headquarters. Van has the corner office. Derek's in the library. Riley works out of the former dining room. The house is for them. That's insane. That's gratitude. They believed in me when nobody else would. I turned back to her. Speaking of which, how did Mom and Dad pay for Paris? She hesitated. What do you mean? $90,000. Where'd it come from? They said they'd been saving. They took out a mortgage, $180,000, 3 years ago, 2 weeks after telling me they couldn't help me with $5,000. Her face fell. I didn't know. Of course you didn't, because you didn't ask. You just took it, like you take everything. That's not fair, isn't it? You got $90,000. I got told I didn't deserve help. You flunked out after 1 year and spent year 2 lying about it. I built a $47 million company. 47 million? Give or take. We're valued at 47 million. I own 66%. Do the math. Her face went even paler. So when you walked in here today, applying for a marketing manager job at a company you thought you'd never heard of? I smiled. You were interviewing with your brother, the one Mom and Dad said didn't deserve help. Before Claire could respond, my phone rang. Dad. I showed her the screen. That was fast, I answered. Put it on speaker. What on earth did you say to your sister? Hello to you too, Dad. She called us crying, said you own some company, that you have a mansion. What is she talking about? She's talking about my life. Claire was shaking her head frantically, mouthing, hang up. I ignored her. You never told us you were starting a company, Mom's voice in the background. Actually, I showed you a business plan. You called it just numbers. That was 4 years ago. You can't still be mad about, Dad's voice was tight. Your sister said you interrogated her, accused her of lying. I verified her resume, found some inconsistencies. For example, did you know she flunked out of Paris after 1 year? Silence. She what? Mom said. Academic probation, 6 failed classes, withdrew December 2021. That's not true, Dad said. But his voice wavered. Call Paris Fashion Institute. They'll confirm. They'll also tell you she owes them $68,000 for year 2, the year she spent traveling Europe while posting fake school photos. Where are you getting this information? Dad asked. From Paris Fashion Institute. I called them this morning. Professional courtesy, since my company was about to hire someone with a fraudulent resume. You're lying, Mom said, but she didn't sound convinced. Am I? Asked Claire. She's sitting right here. Claire? Dad's voice. Is this true? She looked up at me, eyes pleading. I muted the phone. Tell them, or I will. Your choice. She took the phone off speaker, walked out of the room. I could hear her voice in the hallway. While she was gone, I opened my company's lending dashboard, pulled up my parents' mortgage file, account 847392, Theodore and Margaret Patterson. Original loan, $180,000, 3 years ago. Current balance, $167,400. Payments missed, 3 months. Status, pending foreclosure proceedings. I owned this debt, had the power to restructure it, or destroy them financially. The question was, which would I choose? Riley walked past the conference room and came in. That your sister crying in the hallway? Yep. How'd the interview go? She lied about graduating Paris, then about her work history. Summing up, lied about basically everything. Riley whistled. Hire her anyway? She's family. That's exactly why I won't. Cold. I like it. They paused. Oh, Premier Lending called. About a Patterson mortgage. I know, that's my parents. Wait, your parents have a loan with us? We acquired Premier 8 months ago. Didn't realize they were in the portfolio until today. Riley's eyes widened. And they're behind? 90 days. Foreclosure starts in 30. So you could? I could do a lot of things. I showed them the file. They took out this loan 3 years ago, right after telling me they wouldn't help me. Used it to pay for Claire's Paris tuition. The Paris she flunked out of? The very same. Riley sat down. This is some Greek tragedy-level irony. It gets better. They don't know I own their loan. Don't know I own this company. And my sister just applied for a job here with a fake resume. What are you going to do? I have no idea. Claire came back in, phone in hand, eyes red. They want to talk to you. I took the phone, unmuted it. Hello? Is it true? Mom's voice. About Claire? Yes. All of it? Yes. And you own a company? Yes. How? I built it. With help from people who believed in me. We grew it together. Why didn't you tell us? Why would I? You made it clear you weren't interested in my success. Dad's voice? That's not fair. Fair? You gave Claire $90,000 for Paris. She wasted it. I asked for $5,000. You said I didn't deserve help. I'd say that's pretty damn unfair. Claire flinched at the profanity. Watch your language, Dad said. I'm 32 years old and worth $31 million. I'll say damn if I want to. Mom gasped. 31 million? I could hear Dad breathing heavily. We should talk about this in person, he said. Should we? Or should we talk about your mortgage? What about our mortgage? The 180 you borrowed 3 years ago from Premier Lending. What about it? Premier Lending is part of my company's portfolio now. We acquired them 8 months ago. You're joking, Mom whispered. I don't joke about debt collection. You're 90 days past due. Foreclosure proceedings begin in 30 days, unless someone intervenes. You wouldn't what? Foreclose on you? Why not? You didn't help me. Why should I help you? We're your parents. And Claire's my sister, but I'm not hiring her either. Turns out I have standards. I hung up. Claire was staring at me. You're going to foreclose on them. Haven't decided yet? They're our parents. They're people who made choices. Now they're dealing with consequences. This is cruel. Cruel was telling me I didn't deserve help. Cruel was giving you $90,000 while I ate ramen in a studio apartment. Cruel was never once asking about my life for 4 years. I stood up. This is just business. I can't believe you. Good. That makes 2 of us. I couldn't believe you either when I read your fake resume. She grabbed her purse. I'm leaving. Probably smart. You're not getting the job. She stopped at the door. Was I ever going to get it? If you'd been qualified? Maybe. But you're not. And I don't hire liars. She left. I sat alone in the conference room, pulled up the mortgage file again, stared at it. Riley came back in. You okay? Define okay. That was harsh. Was it? Oh, absolutely. But I'm not sure it was wrong. Riley sat down. What are you thinking? I'm thinking I have leverage for the first time in my life. And I'm not sure what to do with it. Riley pulled out their laptop, started typing. What are you doing? Drafting options, because I know you. You won't just foreclose. That's not who you are. But you'll want terms, conditions, consequences that actually mean something. You know me too well. I was your roommate for 2 years. I watched you give your last $20 to a homeless guy and then eat crackers for dinner. You're not cruel, but you're done being a doormat. So what do you suggest? Riley turned their laptop toward me. The ultimatum. 3 options. They choose one. 48 hours to decide. I read. Option A, full compliance. Public apology. Sister's confession video. Mortgage restructured to something manageable. Option B, legal consequences. Mortgage called due immediately. Foreclosure. Paris notified of fraud. Option C, public exposure. I tell my story to the press. Business Insider already reached out last month. They loved the bootstrapped to 47 million angle. Add in the family drama? That's front page material. This is brilliant. You really think they'll comply? I think they'll have to, unless they want to lose everything. And if they refuse? Then you follow through. But at least you gave them a choice. That's more than they gave you. I looked at Riley. You're a good friend. Which is why I'm billing the company for this legal work instead of doing it for free. They smiled. Even friendship has limits. Fair enough. Draft the formal document. Have it couriered to their house. Signature required. When? Tomorrow morning. Let them sit with it for 48 hours. And the mortgage? Put a hold on foreclosure proceedings. For now. But make sure they know it's temporary. Riley nodded. Closed their laptop. You're doing the right thing. Am I? You're doing something. That's better than nothing. After Riley left, I walked back to my shed. I should have felt satisfied. Instead, I just felt tired. My phone buzzed. Text from Van. Heard Claire was here. You okay? Me. Yeah, just family drama. Van. Want me to design something passive-aggressive we can send them? Despite everything, I smiled. Me. Save it for the press release. Van. Oh, we're going public with this? I'll start drafting. Me. Not yet, but soon. I set my phone down. Tomorrow, my parents would get their options. And then we'd see who really didn't deserve help. The courier arrived at my parents' house at 9:47 a.m. I know because Riley was tracking it. Signature required, they texted. Your dad signed. How long until they open it? If it were me, immediately. If it's them, they'll probably make coffee first. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. I let it go to voicemail. Dad's voice shaking. What on earth is this? An ultimatum? Are you serious? Call me, now. I didn't call. Instead, I forwarded the voicemail to Riley. Document received. Riley replied, Clock starts now, 48 hours. The document Riley had drafted was a masterpiece. They had time until Friday morning to choose. Thursday afternoon. 28 hours into the countdown. Van burst into my shed. You need to see this. See what? She pulled up her laptop and showed me Instagram. Claire's portfolio. Still fake. But that wasn't what Van was showing me. I recognized one of these designs, Van said, from a student showcase I judged last year. She pulled up a split screen. Claire's work on one side. OG designer's work on the other. Identical. She stole it? Not just stole. Look, Van scrolled. This one's from a Design Week submission. This one's from Behance. This one's from a student at Paris who actually graduated. 5 designs in Claire's portfolio. All stolen. She didn't just lie about graduating, Van said. She plagiarized other people's work. I stared at the screen. Can you prove it? Already did. Van pulled up another tab. Side-by-side comparisons. Dates. Original sources. Made a video, 2 minutes, set to post on TikTok tonight. Van, don't van me. She tried to get a job at our company with stolen work. She disrespected every designer who actually hustles. She was right. Post it, I said. Really? Yeah, but send it to me first. I want to see it. 10 minutes later, my phone buzzed. The video was perfect. Clean graphics, professional, but damning. Each stolen design shown next to its original. Dates proving Claire's timeline was impossible. Text overlay. When you fake your whole career, a thread. Van's voice, calm and factual. Claire Patterson claims to have graduated from Paris Fashion Institute in 2023. Records show she withdrew in 2021 due to academic probation. Next slide. She claims these designs are her work. Split screens, one by one. Each theft exposed. Final slide. To the actual designers whose work was stolen, you deserved credit. To Claire. Do better. Van had tagged Claire's Instagram. Paris Fashion Institute's official account. Several design organizations. It posts at 8 p.m., Van said, unless you want to stop it. I watched it again. Let it post. 8:03 p.m. My phone started buzzing. Text from Claire. What did you do? Text from Mom. You posted something about Claire. Take it down. Text from Dad. This is harassment. I didn't respond. Instead, I watched the view count climb. 847 views in the first hour. By 10 p.m., 12,000 views. By midnight, 87,000 views. Comments rolling in. Holy crap, she stole everything. This is why I hate influencers. Imagine being this entitled. That last comment had 3,000 likes. Someone had connected the dots, done research, found my company, found the family connection. By Friday morning, the deadline, Claire's video had 2.1 million views, and the internet had found my story. Reddit threads. Tech CEO's sister caught in massive fraud. Trending TikTok duets. Hundreds of them. Designers showing their work next to Claire's thefts. My phone rang at 6 a.m. Mom, I answered. Take it down. I didn't post it, Van did. It's her video. Then tell her to take it down. Why? Everything in it is true. She's getting bad threats. Then she should make her accounts private. That's what settings are for. You're destroying her. She destroyed herself? Van just showed receipts. We choose option A. Just make this stop. I can't make it stop, Mom. The internet doesn't work that way. But you have until 9 a.m. to comply with option A. That's the deadline. If you want the mortgage restructured, if you want to avoid the Business Insider article, you have 3 hours. We need more time. You had 48 hours. You spent 47 of them arguing. Clock's ticking. I hung up. 8:47 a.m., 13 minutes before the deadline. My phone buzzed. TikTok notification, Claire Patterson Star 3 posted a new video. I clicked. Claire was sitting in what looked like her bedroom. No makeup. Eyes red from crying. Hi, my name is Claire Patterson, and I need to tell you the truth. Deep breath. 4 years ago, my parents gave me $90,000 to attend Paris Fashion Institute. Her voice cracked. I told them I graduated. I didn't. I flunked out after 1 year. 6 failed classes, academic probation. I was too scared to tell them. So I lied. I spent year 2 traveling Europe, posted fake school photos, made them believe I was studying. They paid for a second year I never attended. My resume is fake. Most of my jobs don't exist. And my brother, the one I used to call the screw-up. He asked for $5,000. They said no. He built a company. While I wasted $90,000 and lied about it. I'm sorry, to my parents, to my brother, to everyone I've deceived. And I'm especially sorry to the designers whose work I stole. I disrespected your talent. I'm deleting my accounts, starting over, from the bottom. Like I should have done 4 years ago. The video ended. Posted, 8:52 a.m. Within an hour, 2.8 million views. By noon, 4.1 million views. Comments split. At least she's owning it now. Too little too late. Her brother is a legend for exposing this. Imagine your sibling putting you on blast like this. She deserved it though, Business Insider called. We'd like to interview you about the family dynamic. I declined him. Not yet, I told Riley. Let's see if they complete option A first. Friday, 2:37 p.m., second notification. Theodore Patterson and Margaret Patterson posted a joint video. I didn't know my parents had TikTok accounts. They were sitting together on their couch, looking uncomfortable. Dad spoke first. We need to apologize to our son. Mom. 4 years ago, he asked us for help, $5,000 for his business. Dad. We said no, told him he didn't deserve help. Mom. That same week, we gave his sister $90,000. Dad. We were wrong about everything. Mom. We favored one child, dismissed the other, and when he succeeded anyway, we still didn't acknowledge it. Dad. Our son built a company worth $47 million without us. Maybe because of that. Mom's voice cracked. We're sorry, publicly, and we'll do better. Dad. If he lets us. The video ended. Posted, 2:35 p.m. Views climbed slower than Claire's, but still significant. 847K by evening. Comments mostly harsh. This feels forced. They're only sorry because they got caught. Bad parents getting dragged and I'm here for it. The son should never forgive them. But some sympathetic. At least they're trying. Apologies are hard. This took guts. Hope the family can heal. I sat in my shed. Watched both videos again. Felt nothing. Not satisfaction, not vindication, just empty. Riley came out to check on me. You okay? I made my family apologize to millions of strangers. You made them face consequences. Different thing. Is it? Yes. Riley sat next to me. They had options. They chose compliance. That's on them. I gave them impossible options. Impossible? The mortgage restructure was generous. Market rate would have been higher. You're basically giving them a gift. Doesn't feel like a gift. Because it's not supposed to. It's supposed to feel like accountability. Derek posted something too, Riley said finally. What? His own video, about investing in you. Want to see? I nodded. Riley pulled it up. Derek's face. Gentle. Honest. 4 years ago, I met a kid in a co-working space. He'd just been rejected by his parents. Asked them for $5,000. They said no. I gave him $3,000. Not because I knew him. Because I recognized something. He held up a document. The original investment contract. $3,000 for 2% equity. That equity is now worth $940,000. Best investment I ever made. Because he reminded me what it feels like to believe in something, to see potential when everyone else sees risk. To his parents, you didn't just reject a loan, you rejected a son, and he thrived anyway. That's not his success story, that's your failure. The video ended. Views, 647K. Comments overwhelmingly supportive. This made me cry. Derek is the dad he deserved. Can Derek adopt me? This is what believing in people looks like. Van had posted too. About designing the logo for equity, watching me build something from nothing. Riley posted about being the lawyer who believed in a random college roommate. 3 videos. 3 testimonials. All of them saying the same thing. This man succeeded because we believed in him. Not because his family did. Saturday morning, 3 days after the videos went viral. I woke up in my shed to find my entire team standing outside. Van, Derek, Riley, holding coffee and bagels. Intervention time, Van announced. I'm fine. You're living in a shed of a $5 million house you don't use. You're not fine. The shed is cozy. The shed is a metaphor, Riley said, and we're worried about you. Derek sat on the ground. Talk to us. I looked at them. These 3 people, who'd given me money, time, belief, who'd become millionaires because they'd bet on me when nobody else would. I thought winning would feel better, I admitted. Winning against your family isn't winning, Van said softly. It's just sad. They apologized, publicly. Millions of people saw them admit they were wrong, and I feel nothing. That's because you wanted them to apologize 4 years ago, Derek said, before the success, when it still would have meant something. Riley handed me coffee. You did what you needed to do, set boundaries, demanded accountability. That's healthy. Is it? It feels petty. It would be petty if you'd done it out of nowhere. But they rejected you, funded your sister's failure, then tried to play victim when you succeeded. Van sipped her coffee. You gave them options. They chose. You didn't destroy them. You let them face reality. And now you decide what kind of relationship you want. If any. I thought about that. There's a graduation coming up, I said quietly. Your doctorate? Derek perked up. Yeah, PhD in business administration. Been doing it online for 3 years. Nobody knew. When? 3 months. They're supposed to attend. That was part of option A. Are you going to let them come? I don't know yet. Van stood. Well, you have 3 months to decide. In the meantime, we have a company to run. The weeks passed. Claire deleted all her social media, enrolled in community college, business program, starting from scratch. My parents went quiet. The mortgage was restructured as promised, $2,000 per month. Manageable. They were making payments on time now. The company kept growing. Series B funding. Valuation hit $80 million, new offices, more employees. We celebrated at a team dinner in an Italian restaurant. Later, Riley pulled me aside. Your graduation, 3 months away. Have you decided? Decided what? If they're coming. I looked at my team. They can come, I said, but they'll sit with everyone else. No special treatment. And if they don't show? Then I'll know where I stand. Again. Fair enough? 3 months. A moment that would either rebuild something or confirm it was already broken. I wasn't sure which I wanted more. But I knew one thing. I'd walk across that stage regardless. With or without them. 3 months passed faster than expected. The invitation arrived at my parents' house with specific instructions. Section B, row 7. Ceremony starts at 10 a.m. No VIP treatment. Just seats. Like everyone else. Graduation day, PhD in business administration, 3 years of online coursework while running a company. Late nights, early mornings, zero social life. I'd done it anyway. I sat in my cap and gown. Van texted, "We're here, front row, can't miss us." I looked. There they were. Van in a bright purple suit. Derek in his nicest cardigan. Riley in full professional attire. Holding a banner. Dr. Patterson, built this without help. I covered my face, tried not to laugh. Van waved, shouted, "We're so proud of you!" Several families turned. I loved them so much. Then I saw my family enter. Mom, Dad, Claire, all three. Walking in, looking uncomfortable. They found their seats. 3 rows behind Van, Derek, and Riley. Close enough to see everything, far enough to not matter. Mom caught my eye, gave a small wave. I nodded. Nothing more. After the ceremony, families flooded the field. Van reached me first, hugged me so hard I couldn't breathe. Dr. Patterson, sounds fancy. Sounds expensive, I laughed. Derek shook my hand. Proud of you, kid. Riley handed me a gift, wrapped small box. What's this? Open it later, it's sappy. I looked over their shoulders, saw my parents approaching. Van noticed. Want us to stay? Yeah. They flanked me. Mom reached us first. Congratulations. Thanks. We're proud of you. First time she'd said it? Ever. Okay. Awkward silence. Dad. This is impressive. A doctorate. While running a company? Yeah, kept me busy. Claire stepped forward. I started classes, community college, business program. Good. I'm actually doing okay. Got a job too. Starbucks, barista. That's honest work. I saved $8,000. She looked nervous. I want to start something, a real business, fashion, but different, sustainable. You want help? No, I want advice, and maybe accountability. Accountability? Someone to check in, make sure I'm not lying to myself again. Interesting. I'll match what you've saved. 8,000. But not as a gift. Her eyes widened. Really? 10% equity in your venture. You build something real, I invest. You lie, I walk. Deal? Deal. We shook hands. Mom looked like she might cry. You'd help her? After everything? I'm not helping her. I'm investing in her. If she earns it. I looked at Claire. Make me proud. Not them. Me. She nodded. I will. Dad cleared his throat. Can we see the house? The one Claire mentioned? I looked at Van. She shrugged. Your call, boss. Fine, follow me. 847 Maple Street. They pulled up behind my car. Sat in their vehicle for a moment. Staring. Van, Derek, and Riley were already there. Had driven ahead to prepare, which meant God knows what. I walked them to the front door. This is your house? Dad asked. This is my headquarters. I opened the door. The foyer was massive. Chandelier. Double staircase. The kind of entrance that screamed money. Welcome to Meridian Solutions HQ, Van announced. Please don't touch anything expensive. I gave them the tour. First floor, reception. Conference room, former master suite. Derek's office, library. Riley's workspace, formal dining room. Second floor, Van's corner office. Developer team rooms. Design studio. Break room with espresso machine worth more than my first car. Third floor, more offices. Meeting spaces. A meditation room Riley insisted we needed. Basement, server room, gym. Game room for team bonding. Pool area. Outdoor meetings in summer. Team barbecues. This is incredible, Dad said. Voice quiet. You built all this? We built it. Van, Derek, Riley, our team. I just coordinated. Mom was crying again. We really didn't know you at all. No, but you're learning. Claire pointed to a photo wall. Team pictures, company milestones, awards, and in the center, my original business plan. Framed. Still unread by them. Is that the plan you didn't read? Yeah. She read the caption Van had added. They said no. He said watch. Where do you live? Dad asked. Want to see? I led them out back, past the pool, to the garden shed. You live here? Mom asked. Yeah. But the house is for my team. They deserve offices bigger than apartments. This is insane. But property taxes are brutal. Why heat 6,000 square feet when I only use 200? Van walked by, called out. He offered me the master suite as an office. I said no. He insisted. Now I have an office bigger than my first 3 apartments combined. Dad sat on the ground outside my shed. Looked up at the main house. We failed you. Yes? Can we fix this? I don't know. Can you? We want to try. Trying is different than succeeding. We know. I looked at them. They'd aged. 4 years of silence had done that. Family dinners, I said. Once a month. At my place. You, me, Claire, Van, Derek, Riley. Your team? My family? You want in? You respect them? They're not optional. Mom nodded. Okay. And boundaries. You don't get to make demands. Don't get to treat me like the backup plan. We're equals, or we're nothing. Equals, Dad agreed. And Claire? If she screws up again, I'm out. No second chances after this. Claire. I won't. We'll see. 6 months later. Monthly dinner number 6. My shed. Because I refused to host in the main house. Too formal. Van made pasta. Derek brought wine. Riley handled dessert. My parents brought flowers. Still awkward. Claire showed me her business plan. Actual research this time. Real projections. What do you think? I read it. Thoroughly. It's good. Needs work on the marketing section, but the concept is solid. Really? Sure. You're doing the work. It shows. She smiled. After dinner, I walked my parents to their car. Thank you, Mom said, for giving us another chance. I'm not giving you a chance, I'm letting you earn one. Big difference. We'll earn it. You better. They drove off. Van, Derek, and Riley stayed. Helped me clean up. They're trying, Van said. Trying isn't the same as succeeding. No, but it's something. Derek raised his glass. To something. We toasted. Riley pulled out their phone. Oh, Business Insider published. What? The article, they ran it anyway. Used public information. Your story. I grabbed the phone. Headline. From 5K rejection to $80 million empire. How family doubt became fuel. They'd interviewed Van, Derek, Riley. Got quotes from other employees. Built a story about chosen family and bootstrap success. Near the end, one quote from me. I'd say thank you for saying no, for showing me I couldn't depend on you, for proving that success doesn't require approval. I built this because you rejected me. You see me now, but only because the world forced you to look. That's not the same as being seen. Being seen is a gift. Being visible is a reckoning. And I've made my peace with being both. 1 year after graduation, company went public. IPO valued us at $200 million. My stake, 66%. ORSARS, $132 million. Van, Derek, Riley. Each worth 4 million. We celebrated in my shed. Because why not? We drank. Outside, the main house lights were on. Team working late. Building something bigger. My parents had attended the IPO ceremony, quietly, in the back. Claire was there too. Her business had launched. Small. Sustainable, but actually earning revenue. She'd asked me to speak at her first pop-up shop. I'd said yes, because she'd earned it. Later that night, my phone buzzed. Text from Mom. "Thank you for dinner. We love you." I stared at it. Typed, "I know." Didn't say it back. Tonight, I was just going to sit in my 200-square-foot shed in the backyard of my $5.5 million house and appreciate everything I'd built without them. Lived in, despite them. Succeeded because of them saying no. They see me now. Because they had no choice. And that's the difference between being seen and being visible. One is a gift, the other is a reckoning. I've made my peace with being both.